But that's the message I got from my therapist this week, was that this is the work, to be satisfied in the work that I'm doing. And I'm going to pass that message along because it means so much to me that this is hard work. This is hard work. And you're doing hard work too. So keep it up. I had a session yesterday and then I've had time to reflect. I typically journal in the morning or at night. So I've had some time to reflect on what we actually talked about in the session. And a lot of what we've been talking about is helping myself be more aware of my own emotional capacity, because that is something that is really difficult for me to notice, for one, maintain, number two, and then communicate to my partner is the third one that has really been the most difficult part for the past 1.5 to 2 years. And the way that started was, whenever I was a young person, I didn't really have someone who was nurturing to me. I grew up in a single home with a single mother with an older brother. So a lot of the times we would be at home by ourselves after school. As soon as we were old enough to work a key, we would come home right after school and it would just be the both of us. But growing up, I never really had an emotional support system. And some of my earliest memories were whenever I had an emotional need, or if I showed emotion whatsoever, it was handled poorly. When I was reflecting on this, I distinctly remember being told by the adults in my family if I was upset about something, or if I was experiencing some type of intense emotion that I couldn't quite handle as a child, I remember being told, go cry over there, or go cry somewhere else. And I'm not saying this for sympathy. I just want to lay the groundwork for how those experiences whenever I was a child still exist, and they've just manifested themselves in different ways now that I'm an adult. When I started therapy, I often described my level of emotional bandwidth as, I feel like I have a phantom limb. Whenever there's deep emotion that's being presented to me by anyone, or deep sadness, if there's a deep sadness or a deep hurt that is being presented to me, there's a disconnect that happens in that nurturing stage. It's hard for me to mimic that thing because it was never mimicked for me. So I often talk to my therapist about, it feels like I have a phantom limb, or there's a part of me that I can't quite activate. And I would love to reach out to you. The more that I do it, the more that I realize that I can't quite move in that specific way. For lack of a better term, I feel emotionally cut off, or I feel like I've been cut off from a part of myself. So that's what a lot of my therapy revolves around. The first year of my therapy was dealing with this belief that I had in my head of, I am incapable of loving and caring for someone deeply. That is part of my journey. And thankfully, I've come to the belief of myself that I do have the capacity to love and to care for someone deeply. I can do it. I truly believe that about myself. But the next step for me in my therapy journey and working through this trauma is whenever I talk to my therapist and I told her about this feeling of a phantom limb, and she asked me the question, would you be okay if you only got 10% feeling back in your phantom limb? You only got 10% capacity back, would you be okay with that? And I had to think about it, and I was like, absolutely I would. To know that I can use this piece of myself, or that I have access to this piece of myself, would mean so much to me, because I'm not above doing the work. I'm not above it. And I think that's what is the humbling piece about starting therapy is, this is the work right now. And what I want to communicate to you is, if you've been doing the work, I just want to tip my hat to you and let you know you're not in this struggle by yourself. I don't hope that there are multiple people going through this, but I realize that this is a reality for many people across this country and across the world, where they didn't have both parents growing up. They maybe had no parents growing up, so they had to do what they had to do. And emotionally, sometimes that causes us to become what I thought I was being like. I thought I was like this severely independent. I can stand on my own 2 feet, which there is room for that. I truly believe that I am like a spearhead. When I set my mind to something, I can focus and I can get it done. But there is a piece of maturity where having a support group might be important to you. And we've been taking notes and going through how I can better increase my emotional capacity through awareness and just laying a baseline foundation. If this is second nature to you about your emotional well-being and you're really good at checking in with yourself, you're really good with regulating yourself. And if you have a partner that is not so good, hopefully you see this. I'm able to talk from their perspective or their experience and just say, truly are a work in progress. We used to have these fend for yourself nights where if you didn't come up with a way to eat, you weren't going to eat that night. So we had to be creative. And I think that's what leads me to believe that I can handle a lot of stress in my life. But that fend for yourself mentality has also translated into the way that I show up as an emotional being. I tend to not share my needs with other people, and I tend to want to resolve the needs that I have by myself. And community and partnership sometimes can be a vehicle for you to have someone to count on. And that might seem foreign, that might seem scary, that might seem horrible because trust me, even learning that I could speak my needs to my partner and have them be reliable was something that took me a while to learn. If you're on this journey and you feel stuck, or you feel like you can't do anything right, or you feel alone, or you feel like the pain inside is too much to bear, I just want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of people I can't speak for everyone, and I can't speak for how everyone was raised, but I am going through life, real life. And if you're going through real life and this message resonates with you, just know I'm right here with you. I'm buckled in. I am hopefully going to be able to share more of my growth journey and some more skills. I'm not saying I'm healed whatsoever, but I am saying like I am getting better. And I'm learning a lot. Like talking with a therapist gives me so much, it gives me so many definitions of things that I'm experiencing. And she's able to walk me through some of these. She's able to see from a 10,000 foot view of my mental landscape and walk me through these patches that I have. So I can honestly say I wouldn't be the person I am today without my therapist. And yeah, I just want to give you a sense of hope. If you're tired of going through it and you're tired of feeling how you feel, I'm right there with you. 2 weeks ago, I probably wouldn't be making this video, but I'm on the other side of that now. And I want to give you the message that it does get better. And if you are in the midst of a storm, hopefully you have some type of way to begin to regulate yourself. Like I said, I'm working on something with her that we're going to finish up next week. It's all about how I'm going to be able to manage my capacity. So literally between 75 to 50 and 50 to 25 and 25 to 0. 0 is when I'm in like my fight, flight, or freeze. And that's when like my avoidant tendencies kick in where I'm like, I just want to hide. Like, I just want to, if I could book a trip to Bermuda tomorrow, I would do it. But I know those are not the thoughts that are the truest. When I'm in that state, there's very little truth that comes out. It's a lot of pain, very little truth. So I'm going to try to work on preventing myself from getting there with regular things that I can do every day to check in with myself to make sure I'm all right and I can show up for the people in my life. I genuinely want you to know that you're not alone. I'm right here doing real life, but part of showing up for yourself and showing up for others is doing the hard work. And this is hard. This is hard work, and you're doing hard work. And again, if no one is around to say and see the progress that you made, I, from the bottom of my heart, want to say I'm proud of you for moving in the way that you've continued to move and continue to work on yourself and continue to hold yourself accountable in a way, but also give yourself grace to know that we were born with 100%, but the things that we've gone through in life just haven't allowed us to be the fullest versions of ourselves yet. And that yet is what I'm truly believing in, because I believe I'll get there. It's been a long road. And again, I've accepted the fact that this might be my burden to bear for the rest of my life. This might be the thing that I continue to pursue for the rest of my life. And yeah, I've accepted the fact that if I get 10%, 20%, 50% back of that depth of nurturing and that capacity, if I can get that back, shoot, it'll all be worth it. I'm right here with you. Don't give up. I wish everyone could experience the mental health professional that I have. Maybe this is a sign to seek something out for yourself if that's something you want to do. I'm never going to tell you to go to therapy, but I'm just speaking from a place of I had doubts. I've been doing it. I've gone through multiple therapists. It's taken me a while to find the right one. She knows my mental landscape, and she's able to always point me in the right direction. I hope you find this useful. Just know that I'm here. We are here. I hope you start to form a community around yourself, and I hope you get to feeling better, because I know what it's like to be in the midst of a storm. It feels like there's clouds over the sun in your heart or your being. And I hope the sun comes out for you today. I hope you get a glimpse of the sun. I hope you get a sense of relief from the things that have been burdening you today. I truly hope that. So I'm here. Let's do it. We're going to keep moving forward. It doesn't matter if it's at a snail's pace, but that's the message I got from my therapist this week, was that this is the work, to be satisfied in the work that I'm doing. And I'm going to pass that message along because it means so much to me that this is hard work. This is hard work, and you're doing hard work too. So keep it up. Take breaks when you need to. Get sushi. Find things that you love that help you build up that tank. Is it a call to your friend? Is it watching your favorite movie? Is it music? Is it long walks? I hope you get to fit that into your calendar in the next week. Because I got a list of things that I'm going to be paying attention to this week to make sure that I'm staying full. And that way, when I'm full, I feel like I show up in a different way. Yeah, I hope you're doing good, and I hope you get a break from the storm. And if you're in a storm, I hope you get a sliver of sunshine today, because I know what it's like, trust me. Maybe we can do a therapy journey update and just talk about the things that I'm learning or the things that I've learned in my therapy journey. If those sound helpful to you, we can do that.